Alright, so I'm going to do the buttons project, or at least I'm going to get started with the buttons project. The first item on the agenda is to open up an Illustrator document, and in the paper size section here it says that the size of my Illustrator document should be the standard letter size, so 8.5 inches by 11 inches. So I'm going to go to Illustrator right now, and this is sort of the welcome page in Illustrator. I'm going to click the New File button here. And then on the right hand side I could specify, the sort of details that I did in InDesign, but instead I'm going to just do a letter. It's one of those pre-set templates here. I'm just going to activate this one and click on the Create button, and then I have my document. I have a few panels here. The only one I really need for now is the Tools panel. So if you don't see the Tools panel, you go to Windows and then Tools bar, and then you want the basic Tools panel. This is the one I have right now. And you can see here that everything that has a little check mark next to it is present on the screen. So you can get rid of those extra panels by going like this, or there's also a little X at the top here, so you can go like this and tidy up your window. So you see, for now, as I said, the only panel we really need is the Tools panel. So within the Tools panel, there's a bunch of tools. As you can see, it's sort of like the InDesign Tools panel. Here, there's a bunch of tools that have a small triangle at the base. These are helpful features, but they're a bit annoying. Here, if you don't see the circle tool here, you press the Option key and you press the tool, and you can see that there's a bunch of different tools underneath. So you Option click until you get to the circle tool. Now, once your circle tool is activated, so it's always the same idea, make a selection first and then do something. So here I'm activating the circle tool, and then I'm going to click anywhere in my document, and I'm going to specify here, it's the ellipse tool, but I can get, of course, a circle if I have my numbers the same. So I'm going to say here that I'm doing the small circle now for my first button, and Moodle says that it has to be 3/4 of an inch by 3/4 of an inch. Now you notice that my unit of measurement here is the point. I'm going to say OK for now, but now I'm going to go into the View menu. And I have somewhere down here, I have the rulers. I'm going to ask Show Rulers. And now I have a ruler at the top and left of the screen. And if I press the Control key, now my Control key is pressed, and I keep it pressed. I'm going to switch to a different unit, say inches. And then everything switched to inches. And I'm going to make my second circle. And you see that the measurements now are displayed in inches. So my larger circle for the smaller button is 1.3125. I get those numbers from Moodle. 3125. And now I have two circles, and they are, well, right now my circles, they have the white fill color, so what's inside the shape is white, and the shape has a stroke around it, and it has a 1-point stroke that is black. So I want to get rid of those things. Actually, I want to turn these things into guides. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select these two things, and I'm going to go to the View menu all the way down here. And then there's something that's called Make Guides, or Command 5 on a Mac. And if I do that, you can see now that my two shapes have lost their fill, and they have lost their stroke, and they're only guides. Now I can't select them. That's an issue. So I'm going to go back to the View menu. I'm going to go Guides here, and I'm going to do Unlock Guides, which is the same as Option Command semicolon. So I'm going to do that, and now I can move my two guides around, and you can see it tells me when they're center on center. So this is what my smaller button will look like. Now I'm gonna do the other ones, and I'm gonna lock the guides afterwards so that when I design my things, I'm not bothered by the worry of moving the guides away. So I'm gonna do the same thing over, but with a different size. So I'm gonna click again here, and now my measurements need to be different. So I'm gonna do my first inside circle is gonna be 1 inch. And my second one, you can see that I'm doing them anywhere, it doesn't really matter, is 1.625, and again I get these numbers from Little. I'm going to do the same as before. I'm going to, whoops, I think I created another one by mistake there. I'm going to select that, and now I know that if I hit Command 5, I'm going to turn my 2 circles into guides here, and also the guides are unlocked right now, so I can move them around. So it doesn't really matter where they are in the page. If I were doing this in a very systematic way, I would fill the page with these things, but I'm just going to move them around. So if I want to move them around and copy them at the same time, you need to, so you copy, and you make a selection of things by drawing a box around them when the black arrow tool is active. So I go like this. Now I hit the Option key, I press it and maintain it. And then I'm gonna just, whoops, didn't quite pan out. I'm gonna, there, copy by, again, what I'm doing is I'm making a selection, then I'm clicking on these things, and I have the Option, and in this case also the Shift key, which makes it so that my movements are more constrained. So I'm gonna do this now with this entire set here. I'll perhaps delete this one, and then I have my 5 templates, my 5 guides, and the next step will be to write something there, but we'll keep that for another movie.